Well, it's another night again. We got another hot night, a hot session actually. This is gonna be good. I think it's gonna be all you guys want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Um, what an exciting day it was yesterday, Boxing Day. I sat on my couch. I watched some racing. This time I watched it from Barbados, and it was pretty entertaining. It was a little bit nerve wracking at one point, but got through it. I didn't place any bets, but just watching it, I was like, damn. Darwin told me it happened. It happened. You know, the horse closed in on Joqular, and then Tayshawn just pulled away. He just looked back and rear view in the side mirror and just pulled away. That was interesting. Enough about me. Let's bring Darwin in and let him talk to you guys.
Hi, Derek. How you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Clark. How you doing?
All is well. I'm good. Great. Just did my 9 to 5, and now I do the 6-2 to survive. I'm doing all right. That's actually a lyric in a rap song. That's not an original. Jay-Z said, working hard in your 9 to 5 or 6-2 job to survive, something like that. Yeah.
Hey, first of all, I want to congratulate you, man, on your latest victory.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Is it all you imagined?
I would say a little more. You know, it's more than I imagined. It's a good feeling, very good feeling. Got a good team, and things are working out. You know, you put in a lot of hard work, a lot of time, but you never are 100% sure everything's going to work out. But I've been doing this for a long time, so hopefully, all those years of experience, I can put it into one, you know, and have some success. I've been watching a lot of races for my whole life, riding races, train horses, so I have a little idea on how things should or should not do or be. So when it comes to predicting winners, losers, I think I can do a pretty good job.
And you know, you say that, and you say it with so much confidence. You think that people get confused when you the way how you say things, and you know, or is it just certain people that get kind of agitated when you say it the way you say it?
Well, you know, you judge people based on yourself and your life experiences. So for the ones that don't get it, you know, my heart goes out to them. And then for the ones that get it, you know, kudos to us that get it. But I haven't just started making these predictions. You know, while I was training, I would have horses lined up for big races, and I would tell all of my grooms, save your money. You know, we're going to hit them Gold Cup Day. We're going to hit them Guinea Stage. Just save your money. And that's how we'll make our money. You know, we'll land a nice horse, nice maiden or something on that day, pay $8 and everybody's happy. So I've been doing it for a long time. I think the last big, really big, cocky, if you want to call it, prediction I had is back in 87, maybe. We took Green Man and Benton and a bunch of other horses from Barbados. But Green Man and Benton were going into Stewart's Cup. And I was working both horses. I was there as the emergency blacksmith if they need any shoes. But anyway, I had Breeze. I want to say Benton first, or maybe vice versa, but it doesn't really matter for this example. But I breezed both horses, and Green Man breezed so well. And I got off the horse, and I told trainer Burke, I said, this horse cannot lose in Stewart's Cup. Cannot lose. And again, it was, you know, oh, whatever. And then Declan Gillespie, he was going to ride a horse called Driven Dottie for Joe Hadid. And I begged him to ride Green Man. I said, look, this horse cannot lose. So race there, I put $200 to win on Green Man, 23 to 1. And at the top of the lane, I was like the only person in the stand cheering because he was gone. He was gone. I mean, so easy. So, I mean, when I say a horse is going to win, I'm pretty confident. It's not cockiness. I mean, if I don't know, I would say I don't know. not enough info. I don't know. I don't know the horses he's running against. But I mean, I work in a bookie shop for about 4 years. So I've seen so many races. I watch so many races. If you see my work setup is races in the background, monitor, 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 so I'm always listening to races. Always. Let me get rid of this email here coming in.
And you did a bit of a training yourself, so you got a good idea of how these things work, right?
Yeah, I trained for a number of years. Yeah, when you start training, you start from the bottom, so you work with a lot of pieces and you make it. I mean, then I got into my own horses, and again took some pieces, and before I know it, we were winning a lot of races. So it's not cockiness; it's confidence. It's knowing the competition, knowing the
Well,
enemy.
I'm really glad you're able to break down the difference between confidence and being cocky, because
Right.
I'm pretty sure you probably got uh, some questioning from some people about
Oh, I got some feedback.
confidence.
Yeah, yeah, about cockiness. It's like, man, I'm so cocky. I'm not cocky. I'm confident, man. It's not cocky. I
Very interesting.
And the
Very
thing is,
interesting.
I say it before it happens. So I'm not a poor smarting guy. Come back and say, "Oh, you're only saying that now." I'm right in your face. I'm gonna tell you, this is what's gonna happen. And other people might say maybe, but I'm not saying maybe. I say, hey, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's just how it is. And if I
Hey,
don't know,
look,
I don't know.
yeah, I guess it's good to have the horse as well, where the horse can prove you right rather
Oh,
than the
of
horse
course,
prove
of
you to be
course,
a liar.
of course. Yeah. I mean, you can't go into battle without the ammunition, right? So we already know we have that. So it's just getting everything right. All systems go, and you're ready to go. But
Yeah, yeah.
if everything wasn't a go, then it would be like, hey, I'm not sure. This, that. I don't know what this horse. I don't know what that horse. But you're running with the same horses. So I mean, Barbados races is much more simplistic and worldwide, where you have different horses in and out daily basis. You can't see them, you know. But once you know all systems are go on your end, then all systems are go.
Nice, nice. Um, what was the celebration like for you being at home
It's,
yesterday after watching
it's
that?
always quiet. I was texting Rocco Boyne today, and I always say, remember, dude, all my highs are that high and all my lows are that low. So they're not extreme on any end of the spectrum. Is always, I'm like Mr. Neutral. I'm cool. I remember years ago I won a race, and some person said, "How come you're not this? How come you're not that?" I said, "Well, that's not me. I am not over the top celebratory guy, and I'm not down in the dumps. It's all the same. Win, lose, or draw is how I'm moving on. How are we going to move on? What are we going to do different? What is needed? What we need to do different. So it's never. Maybe I'm missing that part of life where it's this big celebration, paint the town red kind of thing. I'm past that. I've done that back in the 80s, man. Right now, it's just more savory than sweet now. That's me right now.
I know you say you're pretty subdued when you win, but do you just shout down the hall or something and tell your wife that you won, or you just kind of like, oh, you just won again?
Yeah,
How do
no,
you do it?
I don't have those kind of emotions. I'm very middle of the road Switzerland kind of guy. The guy that get run over. That's me. But yeah, it was always that way. I mean, I bet a horse one year. I was in my gambling days. I bet a horse. I was out my money, and I found a horse at 20 to 1, and I bet $100 each way, 100 to win, 100 to place. And the horse hit the front early, and I did not what we call riding. You're not literally riding, but you're like, come on, come on, come on. I was just sitting there, and nobody knew that I had bet on the horse. I mean, it was after I told the guys, yeah. And the horse name was Rambo's Hall, and he ended up winning maybe 5 races in a row. Won a big handicap race in England. And I never bet on him since because he owed me nothing. He bailed me out that day, and I was like, "Thank you, Rambos Hall." But yeah, I'm very middle of the road, Switzerland guy. Yeah, pretty cool.
Nice. Well, I mean, it's a big win. It's three in a row now, and I wish you had the trainer on board, but I think you got somebody special on board tonight.
I do. Yes, I do. I brought a friend. Can't take this pressure by myself.
Well, let's bring your friend in.
Hi, good night, gentlemen.
Sean, welcome, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Really good to see you, man.
Hey,
Welcome
nice to see you
aboard.
guys also.
Now, I got a few questions for you. Let me skip over Darwin for a minute or two, and let me ask you some questions. First of all, congratulations, man. Congratulations on the Apprentice of the Year and also Jockey of the Year.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now, what does it feel after winning that big race yesterday? I believe it's a Grade 1, Barbados Grade 1 race.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Feels great, man. I mean, I never won a jockey championship before. This is my first time. And to capture both titles, it feels really great.
That's awesome, man. And we chatted a little bit earlier, just for a minute or two, and you were explaining to me the how the apprenticeship worked in Barbados, and you've
Yeah,
been riding for several years now. Explain that again all over again for me, please.
yeah. I started riding in 2016, and the apprenticeship goes until you win your first 60 races, and then after that you become a journeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it goes here in Barbados.
So I mean, by the time because one of the things is that some of the kids that come to that go abroad from Barbados, when they're riding, they look pretty seasoned. So I guess this explains it all because you guys are riding so much amongst each other because
Yeah,
winning races is not that easy, I imagine, at the
it's true.
Garrison.
Yeah, real competitive here in Barbados.
That's pretty cool that you can had that big win yesterday and still be so calm, just like Darwin.
Yeah, I always just try to take it as it come,
Mm-hmm. And for you, what was the celebration like yesterday?
Well, the moment the race was finished, I just thank the trainer. Yeah, thank all the connections, thank all the trainers, the friends of mine, my supporters, and after just took off from races and come home and just spend some time with the family and relax, and that was just it.
And just went to sleep and that was it. Just another race.
Yeah, that was it for me. Yeah, because I mean, I got so much more that I just want to gain, so I just like, yeah, that's one, and I just thankful for it, but I want some more, so I ain't gonna just let that one win just get to my brain like, oh yeah, I win a grade 1 race, so I make it.
And what are some of those things that you got on that bucket list that you want to gain, man?
Well, I mean, you got the Barbados Derby, the Gold Cup. You got a lot of big feature races that I would love to win. So, as I say, I'm thankful for the win on Joqular on Boxing Day, but I still got a lot more in store that I would love to gain. So, as I say, I'm thankful for it, but I ain't gonna let that swell my brain.
Cool. Now, I imagine after this year, you're winning the Jockey of the Year. You're probably going to become a household name pretty soon. When people say Deshaun, there's no question who the last name is.
Everybody knows it's Hazelwood.
I love it. Let me let me get back to Darwin for a minute before I come back with some more questions for you. Um, Darwin,
Yes, sir.
what's next? What's next for this horse, man? What's next for Joqulars?
Coolmore in about 32 days. And then I think the Gold Cup may be another 30, 40 days after that. So he has 70 days to win a Gold Cup. And then whatever happens, he'll probably go and rest for a month or two. That would be a proper thing to do for her, So she'll go run around, be in the pasture, do her thing for a little bit. But yeah, we still got 2 steps there.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
So grade 1 level in Barbados, what does that really mean for you? as a man who's been experienced in not only North America, but Barbados as well, what does it really mean for you?
This is it's a good feeling. I mean, it's a top race. If I was there, I mean, if I was just a fan rooting, it's a very high achievement. I mean, it's up there with anything else. I mean, I think this is our second. I'm not sure if the what used to be the Tommy Pierce was a grade 1. It may have been, but I'm not 100% sure it was a grade 1. But it's not the first. I don't think it's the first. But anyway, next on the list is the Coolmore, and then after the Coolmore would be the Gold Cup. Natural process. So, like Tashawn was saying, that one is over. So it's to look forward to what's coming up now.
Now, are those graded stakes as well?
Yeah, I think they're graded. Yes.
Tashawn, I muted you a bit because there was a bit of sound coming from your mic. So I mean, you can just unmute it. But
yeah, you guys can hear me now?
Yeah,
we can.
good.
Okay.
But yeah, Tashawn, we've been right in the Coolmore, but we haven't decided on rider for the Gold Cup as yet. So I know he's been asking every day. It's like, haven't been decided yet, my friend. So
that's interesting because I mean you haven't decided yet because the Gold Cup you haven't gone into that stage yet. I mean you still got a Coolmore to go before you get to the Gold Cup.
Correct.
So you never know. I mean, some other opportunities might come to Sean's way. How do you deal with that, Darwin?
Oh yeah. So he knows. He's free to fly anytime. Yeah, he knows that. That's like rule number 1. You can always say, "Hey, I can't do it today, bud. I'm somewhere else." So rule number 1.
Yep.
And I guess that's an understanding that both of you guys would be able to deal with pretty cool.
Yeah, me and Darwin got a very good understanding.
Yeah, and it's no pressure. It's like, next guy up kind of thing. So, but yeah. But the fans, the real birds and, fans that give him a hard time, when are you riding? Which one are you riding? What are you doing? I said, tell them what I tell you. You don't know because I don't know. That's the honest to God truth. I don't know as we sit here today. But, he's making it hard every day to say, no, you're not. So, he's closer to it today than he was Friday, that way.
Well, I mean, like, right now, it should be no question because Tashawn, I mean, you're riding the best horse in Barbados right now, I heard. I mean, that's not me saying it, but that's what I'm hearing from other people. Is this true?
Yeah, yes, it is true, yeah.
Now, how does that make you feel?
It feels, especially due to the fact that I'm an apprentice and riding the best horse in Barbados, that feels so great. I mean, because usually you find like a journeyman on the best horse on the ground, you usually find an apprentice riding it. And for apprentice to get that opportunity is saying that you should feel great about.
And that builds some confidence, not only with you, but with you and the owner, which he's looking at you right now. And you want to convince his owner, like, hey, look, man, I'm sticking around for the Gold Cup too.
Well, hopefully, we'll just see how it goes.
Well, yeah.
Hey, it wouldn't be for lack of trying. He's been trying, so not for lack of trying.
Let's put a pause right there because Darwin. So, for instance, I know you got another nice horse that you keep talking about vividly, and what's going to happen with the decision there? When that time come around.
Yeah, nothing concrete yet. We're still up in the air in both. Nothing concrete.
Still in the works.
There's a lot of factors. I mean, there's going to be plenty of jockeys coming in. I'm just talking. I can't say out my butt, but I'm just hypothetical. I know Mr. Boyne will probably be coming in for sure. I think he'd already given me his commitment. So it's basically to fill the other spot. That's it. So I know he's committed. So I can probably put that out there. I don't know if he tell his family that, but maybe I'm letting the cat out of the bag. But I have nothing to hide. Transparency. That's me right here. Everything's transparent. So, yeah, I think he's committed to one. So,
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the transparency because that's much needed. A lot of times we don't get that, so I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
No, I don't hide anything from anyone, and Tashawn will tell you that too. I tell him as it is, not how it's maybe or might be. It's like this is how it's going,
This
and
is what it is, yeah.
like I told him, I said, if the answer is no, we just have to figure out how you and I will move on from here. I said the only pleasing answer for you is yes. This, that, whatever. You're good to go. But no, it's going to be, how do we move on from here? How
I
are we
gotta
going
I
to
gotta
manage?
ask I gotta ask Tayshawn this. When was the first time you rode this horse?
I mean, Joqular.
Yeah.
The first time I rode Joqular was in the Tommy Pierce. Yeah, the Tommy Pierce. I think that
No,
was
that's incorrect.
that the first
Yeah.
race. No. Yeah, I forgot a roder. The first race I rode Joqular was a 9 furlong. I can't remember the exact date when Sean Hall used to train.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the first race I rode Joqular.
Is it a
Yeah,
different horse right now?
yeah, totally. Yeah, completely different horse.
Sometimes a horse takes a little while to acclimatize and to get familiar with the surroundings and stuff like that. What do you attribute this better horse situation to right now?
Well, what I could tell you is from after she left Sean, I find that when she come back, her appearance was much different.
And
And
explain that.
yeah, in terms of like her condition, she gained a lot of weight, and the core and what's not was looking good, and she feel like 2 times as stronger as she was before. Yeah, and even like in terms of her temperament and what's not, she settled down a whole lot.
She is a handful, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I hadn't known that from before, but I kind of saw that out there also in the
Yeah,
ring a
when it
little
gets
bit.
to racing time, she be like, yeah, just let me go. I want to go and run. Yeah, she carries that attitude.
Now I know Darwin has a good. He told me he's really has a good relation with the trainer, Mr. Charles Williams. And what was it like for you in terms of instructions or anything? What is the instructions the trainer tells you? I don't know. Did you hear me? I don't think he's hearing me, Darwin. Can you hear
Yeah, I
me?
don't think I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Maybe he muted his thing.
Maybe. Or it could be Wi-Fi too. Sometimes that happens.
Drops in and
Tashawn,
out.
if you can hear me, just put your hands in the air. Uh, okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. I think you missed my question a minute ago, but I was asking you, can you hear me still? I don't think you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me still, Tashawn?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I know that Darwin has Mr. Clark has a good relation with the trainer, and he's good with the trainer. With Mr. Charles Williams, what's the instructions like from him to you with handling this horse?
Well, to be honest, Willie does. If it's one thing, Willie will always tell me when riding Joqular, he'll always tell me to Sean, just don't disappoint her. But other than that, he always tell me just go and ride your race, just don't disappoint. And that's it. He always left it up to me to do what I gotta do.
That's pretty good. I guess that must build some confidence as well.
Yeah, he don't give me no instructions. He just always preach to me like, whatever you do, just don't disappoint her. Yeah, and that's the only thing Willie will tell me. And the rest
That's
is be up
real.
to me.
Now I can see that you have a kind of championship kind of aroma lingering around you right now. Uh, so will you carry this over for the future? Because it goes a long way to have that kind of confidence. You need that as a
Yeah.
jockey.
Well, yeah, I'm confident I could get to, yeah. Yep. In the right hands, I'll be champion for a while.
Hey, that might be cocky there. Hey, be careful.
Well, I ain't cocky, just confident. But in the great hands, I'll be champion again, yeah.
Nice. That's good to hear. That's good, really good to hear. What's the what's the feeling around the jockey room and the track when it comes to the other jocks and yourself? I know I spoke to one jockey from Barbados, and he told me that he had noticed that some of the things were kind of straying a little bit because guys used to pray and they don't do all that. I don't know if they still do that. What's that like in the jockeys room these days?
Well, I know what you could say for sure in the jockey room. Well, yeah, back then everyone would get together and we would say a prayer, but I realized that's slacking off a bit. So we as brothers we will pray individually by ourselves. Yeah, but other than that, the track, me and all the brothers get along good. Me and nobody don't disagree or anything.
Very nice to hear. Mr. Clark.
Hey, sometimes you have to make enemies like me, man. I read somewhere a guy said if you don't have an enemy, you must go and make one. That means you're not doing something right.
I'm curious to know where you read that.
I can't remember, but if I come across it again, I'll send you the book. But it say if you don't have an enemy, you're not doing something right. You know, you need to go find one. That means you're too easygoing, or if you're afraid of being, oh boy, I should know this one. Don't let the fear. I'll think about it. I'll definitely think about it. But it says something about you should not let fear stop your honesty. I'm just paraphrasing. You know,
I got you. I can
I
read
don't.
right into what you're saying.
Yeah. So like same
I
thing with being cocky. You know, it's like if you want to be honest, just be honest. You know, don't fear who you may offend or something like that. If you fear to offend, you would not be honest. I think that's the exact quote. If you fear to offend, you would not be honest. Something like that. Yeah.
Well, you know that word cocky is an interesting one because I couldn't help but wonder, and I'm going to ask Tishawn to lift
Okay.
that cup again because I'm just wondering what's is that the same cup? Now, what's on that cup that you just lifted up a minute
Oh,
ago?
I mean that I was drinking out of?
No, yeah, I mean on the size of the cup, yeah.
That's Joqulars.
This guy.
You know, a little subtle kind of cockiness. Is that what it is?
No man, this was given to me as a gift.
He got high friends in high places, I guess. No one gives me anything, bro. I'm like the redheaded stepchild. Nobody gives me nothing, man.
Yeah, that was given to me as a gift.
Oh,
That's,
man.
that's pretty cool. I love
But
that. I love that cup though. I mean,
Yeah,
only you
thank you.
can't just get a cup like that if your horse is not winning. So that I mean, it makes all sense. If the horse is winning, you got to have something like that to show.
Hmm.
yeah, sure. Send me something, but I'll get the same address. send, send me some of the swag you're getting. I see boys was collecting hardware on this yesterday, as a matter of fact. Yeah. I was like, man, no hardware for me. Oh my God. I started to pout a little bit. Oh, boys are having a good time, which is good.
So for a nice horse of what you got right now, Darwin, and you know, is creating a lot of buzz in Barbados because you know all the horse fans are talking about no horse can beat it, beat her, and there's a lot of buzz I see from the internet, from what I'm reading, and people calling me and messaging me and stuff like that. Um, do you ever talk to the people in the higher places down in Barbados about stuff like that?
Oh no, I'm not that influential, my friend.
So you just provide the horse and the horse runs and that's it?
Yeah, I'm not in the mix. I'm not in that kind of higher segment of living. You know, I'm down here with the lower folks, man. I'm just a little. I think I was telling to Sean this morning. I'm just a grain in the sand. You know, when I leave the beach, I am in the car on the side of the road. You know, just a grain. Nobody's paying much attention to. That's me. I like living that way. Just a grain in the sand. Someday I might make it back to the beach. Who knows? But right now, I might be in somebody's trunk. You know, maybe in a vacuum somewhere. So, yeah, I
Who's
love
the
it, man.
who's the first person you call after you won yesterday?
Oh, you put me in trouble because I have a lot of people. First person I call. Boy, I don't know. I can't. I mean, I'm sure I text people. Or I text my buddy in New York. Some of the people in Barbados, actually. I don't remember if I texted Sean. Man, I have to look at my phone. I don't want to lie.
Now, Tishawn, I see that you had a little girl, little baby in the ring with you. Is that yours, your child, or?
I mean, a newborn baby.
I see like somebody was holding or something, kissing or something.
Yeah,
Is
that's my
that
daughter. Yes, please.
your daughter?
Yes, please.
I guess she's too young to understand what's happening, but it's a good feeling anyways, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is.
Yeah, so
Nice, right?
To get back to your question, Derek, it was Rocco. I think he texted me actually. He was I think he's out in the northwest, so we're in the same time zone. So he texted me, yeah. So
And
that's the first person I chat with.
How is he doing?
He's doing well. He took a little Christmas break,
Mm-hmm.
go see some family and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's in the northwest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I saw he had a few months a couple weeks ago or something, and I wasn't really following everything, but it's good to see that he was back. You know?
He's back. He's riding in Auckland for the winter. But I think I'm not sure if the trap was on Christmas break, but he took a few days off to come out this way. So he's in the PNW. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe one day you can hook me up and convince him to come and chat with me again. Because I like his vibe. He's another. I wouldn't say cocky, but he definitely knows what he's talking. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I should have sent him a link today. He'll be glad to get on, but I think he's traveling tomorrow. He's back on the plane tomorrow. So,
well, if he's watching, he can always give you a shout and you can pass it on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he'll come on, man. Yeah, probably coming up to the Gold Cup, he'll come on.
I see. Is that a hint? You dropping some hints here, man? Tell me about it.
It's not a hint. I told you I think he's committed to one. So. Okay. I think he's coming. I mean, I don't know if he's sell family and friends and agents and that kind of stuff. So sometimes it's hard to speak for someone, but as far as I'm concerned, I know he's coming. So
cool. That'll be good. That should boost a little bit of excitement in Barbados. And if the Barbados top rider is there as well, Mr. Samuels, and then we got the young upstart in Hazelwood, and and the Walcott, and all these other people start to bounce in there again. Who knows what can happen?
Yeah, based on Ted's information, I think some guys has a horse coming, the Mohawk horse. So I think he's coming. So he would add a different dimension to the race. I did some research on him. He's a speed horse, a big, solid horse. I mean, the horse looked really well. He's a nice-looking horse, and runs some really fast fractions. So he'll definitely put some more speed in the Gold Cup.
That'll be really cool, pretty awesome. I know. I don't know if those days are gone, Darwin and Tishawn, but Gold Cup Day, we usually look forward to seeing one or two horses that nobody ever knows about just pops in, and then all of a sudden, just blow the field away.
Yeah. But hey, that would not be good for us. So we don't want that, Dave. Go in there. We don't want that. You want a local name.
Nice.
But anyway, kudos to those guys for stepping up and bringing a horse. I mean, I commend them for bringing a horse.
Nice. Now,
the fans love it.
Speaking of fans, Tayshawn, what's the fans like towards you, and what's your family? How do they treat these kind of moments that you are in right now?
Well, my family, I could say for sure, especially they come in the beginning at the garrison, had it rough, as a young apprentice coming up. You get tough in the beginning, but if it's one thing to say, the support was always there from my family. I had one or two friends that would support me too, but I find I get a lot more support as things started picking up in terms of my riding and I start winning more races. I find I get a lot more supporters and what's not. But my family for sure could say straight off the bat that they must be over the moon because they know the struggle I went through them at the garrison, you know.
No, I've heard that the fans at the Garrison is they're pretty tough on the
Oh yeah,
jockey.
yeah. Don't at the garrison you got belly, brother. Yeah,
Tell
you
tell me a
got
little bit
belly.
about that, and tell me about some of the worst things that somebody has said to you.
Oh, jeez, on boy. Them it said some
You,
horrible things down there, like just to fall off the horse and yeah, them it said some crazy things down there, man.
Those are
I want to ask you. This is for educational purposes, and maybe this is for maybe an opportunity to grow in horse racing in Barbados. Actually, now would it be a good thing if there was less of that, or would it change the environment?
Well, mm, well, for me, I could be honest with you, like when the negativity come towards me, like from spectators or whatever the case may be, I always try to blanket. Yeah, because I don't want it, I never want it to be a case where I let what them tell me affect my riding or get to me. You know, I always try to blank what them say. Like some days I'll hear some spectators say, "Oh, you ain't gonna win a race today," or "Oh, you wanna good," and yeah, I just always try to blank out all that negative thoughts coming from the people at the sideline. You know.
Well, I guess that all changes now. I guess after this year, for all your accomplishments and everything else.
Well, I'll be
Um,
honest, you might be surprised. I got some people that although I won both titles, they still think, "Oh yeah, he's not a good rider." Yeah, that's just
wow,
what the garrison is. Yep.
wow.
Yeah, this is
Darwin,
tough
you
today.
probably experienced that yourself too when you were riding back in the days.
of course. I think every jockey that came through the Garrison would have experienced that heckling, and maybe from where I sit now, my first world problems. I think it's good for the writers. It's good that they get the heckle in. I mean, I've heard from you should go cut canes. People would say you should sell coconuts in Bellevue. All these things, whatever it is. But it gives you a very very thick layer. You learn how to handle the worst insults, how to handle almost anything. I mean, the owners and trainers, for riding a bad race or if they think their horse should win, they'll give you, some cussing and stuff like that. But the real birds, they don't forget it. It goes on for months and months and months. So to me, it makes you better. What we have there is so unique. And to think of even possibly changing it, I think the only thing I would actually change in that whole setting is like on Go Cup there when a horse wins a race, it should be more crowd control. That's a little over the top. But I mean, you have some serious fans there, so I think the
Yeah,
whole thing is unique. We should keep it authentic. The rail birds they're part of the racing.
yeah. I was saying, I've always said this too. From a spectator point of view, I don't necessarily like to see people standing on the grass in front of the grandstand or grandstands. I
Right.
don't necessarily like to see that. But I'll tell you something. I definitely loved watching the people around the garrison all the way around and
Oh
inside
yeah.
in the midfield the stand. I just love seeing that. There's something about that just makes it so spectacular and unique at the same time.
Yeah, you can't duplicate that anywhere else in the world. That is absolutely spectacular and unique in Barbados. It is. But
Yeah, I'm just going to remove Tishawn until he gets back. Um,
respect.
but yeah, that alone, I love seeing the people right around the garrison, and I love just seeing so much people excited.
Right.
There was actually a buzz. I love seeing all that. I think it brings something very unique to racing. And I think that it's been a lot of years. So So I think you can capitalize on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I just just from where I sit, I think the owners, they'll love the opportunity to lead a horse in. You know what I mean? It's like give them their 5 or 10 minutes. You can bring it all the way down, but give them the chance. They're the ones paying the bills, give them the opportunity to lead in and do their thing, and go in the ring. But it's just Barbados. It's hard to, I guess, control the crowd and have everything under control. But I think a better job can be done as far as that is concerned, I think.
But there was a time in my life when I thought that change wasn't good. But I'll tell you something, change is always good, man. And no matter what it is, it gives you an opportunity to grow. It gives you an opportunity to expand, to just kind of pick up on a few loose ends and stuff like that. So, change is always good. Don't look at it on the negative side. Look at it on the positive side.
No, like I said, I mean, I agree also. Change is the only constant thing. The but incremental changes. I mean, no one likes any kind of radical change. I mean,
Of
too
course
big,
not.
Yeah, just incremental. But yeah, that's the only thing I would really change. But the real birds, they got to stay forever. I mean, they'll tell you can't ride, you can't train, you can't groom. I mean, they attack everybody. I think the owners are about the only people that don't get harassed by the rail birds. I mean, even the grooms argue among themselves. So it's just our culture. It's just what we do. But like I said,
Yep.
it produces a different product.
Yeah, definitely do. I mean, I've seen the writers that come abroad here, especially to Woodbine, and I can tell from their experience and see from their performances in the past how they're just built. So there's not much that can shake them. I guess the only
Correct.
thing that shakes them is when owners don't give them or trainers don't give them rides. So
That
that's
would shake anyone. That would shake anyone. But if
Tashawn.
Nice.
Um, I know you're becoming a household name now, and have you given any thought about the overseas movement, or is anyone calling yet, or what's happening?
Yeah, I thought of it, but you see, I always say, I always like the position I'm in right now, like build up my resume, better my skill here at home. So when I do decide to make the move, I got certain things intact. I never wanted it to be a case where I leave here and still need this and tidying up. Yeah, I always wanted that. When I left here, I left here with myself well polished up and smooth sailing. Yeah, that was always my intention.
Well, my advice to you would be to speak to a lot of jockeys and the ones who've got some experience, because I mean you probably do already, but it takes not only heart but it takes stomach as well when you make those moves, because as we can see from past, that all the resume that shows all the good thing, you don't necessarily mean that you get those rides. So you wanna do some digging before you actually make those moves and figure out how this game works overseas. You know,
Okay.
so that'll
well,
be helpful to you.
he'll have a
Okay.
good life lesson here coming shortly.
Yeah.
with that right that he's talking about. Oh,
So the
I
camp is good. The camp is feeling well. Someone today saw. I saw somewhere online. Somebody was saying that Joqular right now is the best horse, and it's proven right now that some of the moves that you made and the changes you made, it is has improved the horse. So, do you want to speak on that, or can you speak on that, Darwin?
oh, I can, yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, we knew the horse was a good horse, and she ran a few races below par. We're just trying to figure it out at the time, and then I got to a point where it's like we have to do something. We have to make a move. So we eventually, well, that move was kind of made for me. So um, when that happened, I just knew we were on the right path, and I think back in September, I told Sean, I think he was leading the championship at the time. So I said, okay, well, I have 3 winners for you down the stretch. I said, we'll win the Tommy pairs and we'll win the diamonds. That was the 2 that we had picked out. And then obviously we won the 9 furlong on first day. So that was another win. But anyway, yeah, we knew once we got our hands on her, I would say, we knew, okay, we knew exactly what needs to be fixed. And it was the right people in place. It was quite an easy process. So we're still not there yet. I mean, if the fans think they've seen the best of her, they haven't seen it yet. I was having a discussion today, and she still needs a break, a well-deserved break. She haven't received that in a year. And the next 2 months, obviously, she's going to run. But after that, she needs a well-deserved break. And then hopefully we'll see some growth, and she'll be a better horse. But I don't know if I should say it, but I don't know if the trainer will be mad at me for saying it. But yeah, she'll improve from that race on Monday, yesterday. Yeah, she'll definitely improve.
I want to ask both of you. I'll start with the jock because I was watching the race and Joqular went to the lead and said, "Look, come and catch me if you can." I guess that was the plan for you, Deshaun. But in the last jump, I see Inspired Adventure was kind of getting on your heels. Did you feel nervous? Were you just confident?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't nervous. No. What I would say is coming into the race, I was confident because you see back then in the 2 previous races I rode there, being given a horses like 14 pounds around there. Yeah, so when the weights came up, where then was giving me like 4 or 5 pounds. I was like, well, if I'm beating them from the front, giving them all that way, I guess, well, they gotta catch me if they can. And then the horse to Jimmy, which Ray Williams rode, he wanted to give me some pressure early on, so I was like, if you got the better horse in the race, Deshaun ready like the best horse, don't disappoint her. So I pop her out, get her going, I put she straight to the lead and say, well, catch me if you guys can. But the same horse, Brilliant News and Inspired, I know for sure they'll be coming in the end because those 2 horses, they need the speed to run at, right? But Joqular is a gutsy horse, so like the moment Brilliant News, she got the same day, she just took off again.
I gotta say this is quite a transformation because it was only going back like maybe this is what December, so probably like 9 months ago or something, 10 months ago, when the horse I think ran second or something, and then there's a different feeling. I don't know about for you, Darwin, but for me, I was watching the races like this is a complete transformation.
Yeah, well, to address that, I mean, so I knew I can go back from the beginning. First race we ran, we said, okay, let's go get a paid workout because it was an easy race. So we won that. Then we went into Coolmore, and she was very disappointed in there. And it was kind of like, okay, we finished second. Don't be a hard ass. You won, you ran second, you're okay. I think then we came back and we ran a 9 furlong. I think I went to Sean Roder.
Yeah.
And she got beat by Inspired. And I was a little irritated because it wasn't the horse I thought. And it's like, there's something wrong. This horse is not running. And let's backtrack. After the first race, I had some advice for the trainer at the time. I said, don't do this, don't do that. Let's not do this anymore. But obviously, the person that was training them didn't listen. So anyway, and ran second at Coolmore, disappointed. Tishon Roder, disappointed. And then at one point, I think when Hughes Roder, I tried to explain to Tishon what was a clunker. That was her clunker, in my opinion. Horses every now and then will run a really bad race that you have to draw a line through. And that was it. And I knew it was time for change. I knew from that it was time to move on. And then when it came back, I think when Ray rode her with 128 going 9, I was already out. I was done. I was like, okay, well, as soon as she finished, she'll go on the farm and we'll start over. And that's what we did. But there were different theories. You know, people thought, oh, she needed horses to run at. She needed to sit and wait. And I'm like, you go back and watch her races, and she doesn't need any of that. She can go to the lead. She can sit just off the pace. She's just a nice horse. She just needed the right people around her to bring out what we always knew she had. And like I said, she's not 100% yet. When she gets there, she will be a hell of a horse. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. But yeah, it just needed changing. But it's things that you have to live through. I mean, I obviously wouldn't go through it again. I would make those changes earlier and faster. But I mean, I've been talking to this writer for about maybe 9 months. So he knew basically what I was thinking, what I knew about the horse and stuff like that. So he wasn't surprised when those things happened and how she's running now.
Now, Tashawn, is it that's good to hear, and I'm glad you explained that. Tashawn, is it a good time for you right now? Is it a happy camp? We just passed over Christmas. We're going into a new year. You just rode the biggest horse right now. Well, some people say not the biggest horse, but the best horse in Barbados. And you're building some momentum. Is this a good time for you right now? Are you happy?
Yeah, definitely. I am happy, yeah, and I just excited to see what the new year holds for me, Yeah, but I'm very excited, man.
But I mean, he's right in the maybe favorite or second favorite in the Coolmore, so he should be excited. Should be excited. I mean, I would be excited if I was in that position. I mean, like you said, he doesn't really get any instructions. He's just, straight to the front, don't disappoint her. I mean, easy peasy. And he knows if he loses, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you're the worst pilot in the world. What were you thinking? I mean, I keep telling him, I said, no matter what, we're going to still eat, brother. No matter what, we're going to still eat. I mean, that is my instructions. Obviously, I'll talk him through the race and said, this horse has speed. This horse got speed, Not to pick on Sir Jimmy, but I said, Sir Jimmy has speed, but Joqular has racehorse speed. I said, there's no difference. There's no match. I should just pop her out, put her in front. I said, let the guy on the inside chase you. I said, because you can't go with her. So, and I'm not knocking Sir Jimmy. It's just he's not as good as her. And people might think, and Tashawn can tell you this before the race. I said, look, there's speed and there's racehorse speed. I said, your horse has racehorse speed. So no fair. Just put her in the lead. And that's it. I mean, whatever happens, happens. We're not going to be mad if she runs third or this horse beat her or that horse beat her. I mean, we know what we have. We know what she can do. And just ride her like she's the best horse in the race, because that's what she is. Well, that's not cocky. He can tell you I've been telling this for 3-4 months. That's just – and then, like he rode a 9-furlong race and he took her out. And I said, no, don't ever take her out. Let the other horse inherit the lead. Don't take her back. If they want the lead, let them come take it from you. Don't ever give it up. But now I tell you what, they know not to come anymore. They're not going to try to run her down anymore. I mean, if they want to run second, you better sit. Don't come. And that's just the way it is. I mean, at some point, she's going to get beat. Charles is going to lose his win streak. It's going to happen. It's just races. I mean, a good jockey wins 25 to 30% of the races. So at some point, we're going to taste defeat. But right now, we're going to sit here cocky. I mean, come March, I won't be having this discussion. I'll be like, well, if this happened and that happened, and the moon, moon shines. This might we may, but right now, we're in the driver's seat, so we'll keep driving.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, perhaps when it gets closer to the Coolmore, I want to see if we can attract another owner or trainer to let us know why you can't win. Maybe
Yeah,
perhaps
that
we
would be
can get
great.
that.
Yeah, that'll be a good debate and a good sharing of different views because I come from where I know what I have. He might be coming from a different angle. Like I said, I give people kudos. John Mark Hosier, he has a nice horse. This horse, Mohawk, is a nice horse, but it wouldn't be here for the Coolmore. So I could be cocky. But come Gold Cup Day, it's going to be a different race. I mean, it's going to be like, okay, do you think this horse is good enough to do this? And the Mohawk horse has speed. John Mark horse has speed. Joqular has speed. Whereas how are the riders going to figure out who's going to be in the lead, who's going to have to sit second, who's going to be in the catbird seat? It's going to be a very interesting race, the Gold Cup.
Wow. Hey,
Yeah, but I tell
look,
you what, right? I tell you what, there is one that would come up, and that person knows way too much of my business. Yeah,
that brings a big laugh from you.
it does because that person knows. They're always available to that Facebook user. They're available. Yeah. But I'm going to have some big news here in the new year, so that it will satisfy that person's inquiry. But yeah, I mean, I like bigger and better. So the bigger we can build, the better for all of us. So it may be.
Nice.
I mean, I was just thinking about just syndicating the whole thing, get a whole big family, happy family. So there's some good news in the new year.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I know the guy below, he knows the news already. But yeah, it's always big news coming out of camp. But the team is strong, man. The team is very strong. No friction. Everybody has their say. Everybody has their voice. And we talk things through. We don't just, my way or the highway kind of thing. It's just, this is what I'm thinking. That's what you're thinking. Let's try this week. Let's try this that week. And we figure it out, I think. So it's a good situation.
One more question here for the jockey. Has this experience been a good experience for you over the last few months? How do you feel after being, knowing that you're being in this camp with Darwin and Charles Williams and the other help and support? How's it feel?
Well, since I met Darwin and Charles, I mean, both of them taught me so much about the riding, etc. Like, yeah, with the riding, the healthcare horses, and yeah, then since I come around to them, then taught me a whole lot, and even like, yeah, you see, yeah, with the same riding as I say, yeah, then just taught me all about the horses. Yeah, I can't thank them enough, man, because they teach me a lot, I must say.
Perfect. Well, I mean, congratulations to all of you, to both of you. It's been actually a real pleasure just sitting on my couch and watching these races in Barbados. It's been pretty cool. And building off Darwin's confidence, not cockiness. I got kind of nervous watching the race and watching Inspired Adventure come on your heels, Tayshawn. So for me, I was like, oh no, here this horse comes now. And, you got home first. So again, look, congratulations, guys. Thanks for being part of this. Come back anytime, man. Maybe we can do this again just before the Coolmore,
Yeah, we'll do that for sure. But one thing I would add is this young kid works hard, man. He works really hard. I think Sean Hall introduced me to him or vice versa. And it's been just watching him at work every day, doing this thing. And he deserves it. He works really hard. I can tell you that much. So it's good to find someone that, wakes up and goes to work and likes what they do. And I think that's the most important thing. He loves his job, man. So I always think whenever you find a writer that loves writing, that's half the battle. So it's all of him.
John, any last words before you go?
I just want to thank Darwin for the right on Joqular once again. Thank Willie. And I also want to thank all the trainers, owners, and everybody who supported me throughout my career so far, you know, with the riding. Just want to say a big thank you to you all. It's much appreciated. And I wish that come 2023, y'all continue with that support.
All right. Well done. Well said. Well, gentlemen, thank you guys for being part of this. Let's do this
you guys.
again
Have a great
sometime soon. Take it easy.
Have a great night, guys.
All right,
All right.
everybody take care.
All right, guys. Take care.